Hello, my name is Simon Goldberg and I am a Blockchain Specialist Solutions Architect at AWS. In this video, I will show you how to retrieve a list of event details as the result of a given transaction on blockchain networks such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. I will be utilizing Amazon Managed Blockchain Query's List Transaction Events API. Let's get started. Amazon Managed Blockchain Query, also known as AMB Query, provides serverless access to multiple blockchain datasets through developer-friendly APIs. With AMB Query, you can more quickly build applications that need data from various public blockchains. This eliminates the need for parsing data, tracing smart contracts, and managing indexing infrastructure. AMB Query simplifies and streamlines the process of fetching blockchain information. The List Transaction Events API allows you to retrieve transaction details and event emissions from a given transaction hash. It enables several use cases, such as retrieving events from a transaction that interacts with an ERC20 token contract, such as a transfer or a withdrawal event. For example, you can showcase a transaction status, like a deposit or burn event, on the user interface of your application. Before we go over a code example, let's first go over the prerequisite steps. If you would like to follow along with this code example, make sure that you have Python installed on your machine. Additionally, install the latest Bo2.3 release via pip. You will also need to install the AWS command line interface. Once it is installed, you can run the AWS configure command to set your region and IAM user's credentials. Make sure that this IAM user has the proper permissions to interact with the Amazon Managed Blockchain Query service. This Python example uses Bo2.3 to send requests to the AMB Query List Transaction Events API. This example retrieves event details for a given transaction on the Ethereum mainnet. To use Bo2.3, you must first import it and indicate which service you're going to use. After you have created a Managed Blockchain Query resource, you can specify the API to call and pass in the relevant parameters, in this case, a transaction hash and the network. I have parsed the response from this API into a more easy-to-read format. Let's take a look at what happens when I run this code. As you can see, this event type was an ERC721 transfer, and the value was 1, indicating that a single NFT was transferred to this specific wallet address. This NFT has this contract address, and the ID was 48,312. In this second code example, I am retrieving a list of transaction events for a given transaction on the Bitcoin mainnet. Like the previous example, I am parsing the output from Query's API into a more easy-to-read format. Let's take a look at what happens when we run this code. As you can see, various details about the transaction events are returned, such as the event type. This was the output of a Bitcoin transaction, the receiving address, the value that was received, along with the transaction ID and the VOUT index. In conclusion, AMB Query's List Transaction Events is a powerful API for any developer working with blockchain data. AMB Query handles the intricate processes required to retrieve blockchain data, such as standard events from networks like Bitcoin and Ethereum. That is all for today's video. Thank you very much for joining me in this exploration of AMB Query's List Transaction Events API and how it can be utilized to retrieve the resulting events of a given transaction. If there is a specific event type that you would like to see supported, please let us know in the comments section below. If you are interested in learning more about AMB Query, please refer to the links in the description. Thank you once again, and happy development.